Hello, fellow Voyagers. Jess here with Odyssey Human, here today to talk about manifesting is actually method acting, and you're the intended audience. Welcome to the channel. This is a place where we help you hack through the jungles of consciousness so that you can discover the hidden treasures inside of you. My friends, it's all there, ready and waiting to be activated by you, through you, for you. If that sounds good, please subscribe. I'd love to have you join us here on the channel. I had this epiphany when reading an article about a method actor and how much of a struggle that this person had actually breaking character after the film was done. And I looked a little more into this, and what I realized is that method acting, we are all method actors. Now, what is method acting? Method acting is a type of acting that was introduced in the 1900s, and the whole premise is to become that person for months and months and not break character even when you're not filming. So some examples of actors who did this in recent movies: Austin Butler for the Elvis movies, right? Austin, when you actually heard him talk in interviews, he sounded like Elvis. And he admits that he spent months like not talking to anyone and just saturating his mind with Elvis's life and his world, right? He literally embodied Elvis, and you can see that in his performance. If you've ever watched the most recent Elvis movie with Austin in it, it's shocking. There are moments where you're like, that's the real Elvis. Like he hit it on the head so hard because he didn't see it as, oh, I am Austin and I am Elvis and I toggle between these two characters or identities. He took it all the way to Elvis. He became Elvis for a period of his life. And what happens, like, interestingly, like I said, is there's often then confusion that happens for these folks when they try to break character, right? Because and that admittedly, Lady Gaga, when she did House of Gucci, she actually spoke in an Italian accent for 9 months. And she said that she actually had to go to therapy. Same thing with Val Kilmer when he did the Doors movie. He had to go undo this identity he had adopted, because when you go so deep into an identity, you are it. You are it. There's nothing left, right? We've been talking about our faculties, right? The 3 faculties. If you haven't seen the All-Seeing Eye video, check that one out. It's a really good one. It talks about, our perception, levels of perception, and the 3 faculties that we have, which are always our attention, our language or the story we're telling, and our conditioning. And the conditioning piece, because we are the creator, all of us are creating our own reality. We're generating our own reality. That conditioning piece is essentially us picking from, as the creator, an ultimate menu of identities, characters, personas, renditions of ourselves. Right? When our attention goes somewhere, we tell a story, and then we essentially select a character according to that story. Conditioning is how we narrow our focus from all that is to all that I am right now. All that is, all that I am right now, right? We select a character that's most appropriate for the moment. And we embody it, and we are it in that moment, right? And so in thinking about your God state and thinking about that you are everything and you can be anything, that is the conditioning piece, right? It's just, if you can imagine what imagination, the full breadth of it, every character, every thought, every idea happening right now, and you're highlighting one tiny fraction and embodying it and being it as an identity. That's what our conditioning is, right? And that Being in that identity precipitates certain behaviors, certain beliefs, certain actions, right? We're narrowing ourselves into a role. That's what we're doing when we condition ourselves. And so that's what method actors do, right? They completely put themselves into the character of the person that they want to portray on screen. And the result of that is very convincing for audience goers. It's also shockingly convincing for the people that they work with, right? What I've read is that method actors it's a very intense process, right? It's odd for the people that work with them on set to handle this character, right? Them not breaking character. It's kind of weird to work with. But the result on screen is this energy of the character that, like I said, is very persuasive when you're watching it. I was amazed at Austin Butler. Like, he became Elvis. When you watch that movie, you're like, holy crap, this is amazing. And so what we're doing when we are trying to create our reality, we have this very fixed identity as who we think we are right now. Like, who do you really think you are right now? You've got an identity constructed. You have well conditioned yourself to be the person that you're being right now. And the only thing we are called to do as creators to manifest a different experience is to condition ourselves differently, to pick a different character. And, really, this is incredibly simple. It may sound complex. And I made a video a while back saying that we are an idea that is thinking itself. Check that one out too. If you haven't seen that one, it did go viral. But that is essentially what we're doing. We're just coming up with a different idea of who we are and then living it out and believing it. And the more and more you think about your experience as this vast menu, as yourself as imagination, this huge range of ideas and concepts and people and identities and beliefs that you could be, right? This enormous smorgasbord of ideas that you could be, and you could pick one and fully embody it and believe it and live by it and express it in this moment. Like, that's what you're doing. The more and more you move toward that conception of who you are and away from this conception of, I'm doing techniques to change the outside, like this service, this kind of exhausting service to shifting something outside of yourself in this almost witchy kind of, manifesting is, reciting incantations. And no, like the closer reality to what is actually happening is this: you have this huge smorgasbord of ideas that you could believe in and believe yourself to be, and you're selecting one, and all of it is you. All of it is you. That is the creator state that I talked about in last week's video. The creator state, like, live from that place of knowing that you have access to all of these ideas, all of these concepts right now, and all you are asked to do, all you have to do, all you are have the opportunity to do, because this is a gift. Like, what a huge gift to have this huge range of things that you could just be suddenly. You can just be them. That's a gift. It's not a burden. So often manifesting can feel like a burden, a toil, please give this to me, this longing and reaching and wanting. No, it is a gift. It is a gift of, you have infinity at your fingertips. All you get to do is narrow yourself into one character, decide to be it, believe in it, and put your all behind it, just like these method actors. And what the result is when you go all in, right? When the method actors went all in, yeah, it was uncomfortable for the people on set. Yeah, it was tough on them. It was tough on their bodies. Like, they gain weight, they lose weight, they go through these extreme transformation processes that are so profound that they have a hard time getting out of them psychologically after the movie is over. That's what we're called to do. We're doing the same thing. And it's how convincing to yourself can you be when you assume this new identity, right? How convincing, how deep into it can you get so that you lose the old identity? You lose it. You literally forget that that you've chosen this and you've intentionally decided to become it, right? Because if you maintain that, then it's not as convincing. You can't persuade yourself because you're still hanging on to the old identity. You're thinking, let's give myself as an example. I am Jessica, but I'm still trying to play Queen Elizabeth, historic Queen Elizabeth, If I still hang on to that, well, deep down, I know I'm still Jessica at the end of the day. No, what manifesting is, it's like method acting. It is the same thing. If you want to convince the audience you are this person and give this incredible rendition of the energy of that character and really embody it, you got to go all the way in. You have to go all the way in and let go of who you thought you were prior to playing the character. This is what we do with reality creation. And sometimes we do this so easily, right? We just slip into these characters. I've talked about this with emotion. When you get angry, when you get sad, when you get upset or ashamed, or these really intense emotions that we just slip into so suddenly. We're there suddenly and we're it. And then we are embodying the character of a person who is angry or ashamed or upset or whatever. And we use those behaviors and we are that. And then somehow we take a nap, we go to sleep, we wake up the next day and we're like, oh, whoops, I shouldn't have done that, right? We regain our lucidity. What we are called to do in manifesting and reality creation is method act. Go into it so deeply that we convince ourselves we are that. And we are that. We are that in the moment. In the moment that our attention goes to being that person, our story goes to being that person, and then our conditioning, right? Conditioning is the last piece of I am being this person. I am this person now. This is who I am. And that involves the letting go of the actor or actress, right? It involves letting go of the identity of the person that you were before you started this process. You're letting go. You're releasing it. You're releasing it, right? And you may never come back to that person, that version of yourself, because really these are all renditions of your infinite nature. You're just putting on a rendition. So, I know this was helpful to you. Leave a comment below, and the more persuasive you can be depends to yourself. You are the intended audience, right? You are the intended audience. When you fully go in, your world's going to change. If you hang on and in the back of your mind you're still telling yourself, well, I'm really this person. This is secretly I believe this, but I'm trying to be this character, or I'm trying. This is where you get up hung up trying. Be a method actor. Go fully into it. Have the full experience, and then you will see, you will live, you will be that person, that new rendition. So, let me know what you thought. Drop a comment below. I'm happy to engage with you. And if you need a tool to help you clean up your mind, make it a more peaceful, pleasant, happy place to be, go ahead and grab that below. It's in the description box. It's always free to you to access. So pick that up and have a great day. Thanks for watching.